various instances where Chazal established different takanos in order to protect those people from not being embarrassed. For example, Rabbi Gamliel established that when it comes to burying people in Tachrichin, everyone should be buried in the same type of clothing so that the poor people won't be embarrassed by being buried in different clothing than the rich people. As well, by Bikurim, we find that when there were people, farmers who would bring Bikurim and they had to recite certain psukim, they would recite word for word from the Kohen. And even people who were smart and knowledgeable and were able to say the psukim on their own, nevertheless, they also needed to recite the psukim word for word with the Kohen, so as not to embarrass those who are not able to say the psukim on their own. Yet as Tosas Yantiv, there's another aspect of Bikurim where we find that such a takana was not made. When it comes to the baskets that the Bikurim were brought in, the Mishnah tells us that the poor people would bring baskets which were cheap, inexpensive, and the wealthy people would bring fancy baskets, and they would be decorated with different things that would make these baskets beautiful. So how come, as Tosas Yantif, when it comes to the baskets, we did not make such a takana to ensure that the poor people wouldn't be embarrassed relative to the rich people? Yisrael Reisman explained, it's because when you come to the Beis HaMikdash, your priorities are now cleared up. When you're outside of the Beis HaMikdash, when it comes to the Tachrichim, so in such a situation, you might worry about being poor relative to someone else, and therefore we need to make such a takana. But when it comes to being in the Beis HaMikdash, you now realize that the Gashmiyas, your possessions, that's not what's important. And therefore, you're no longer going to be embarrassed if your basket isn't as nice as someone else's. Being in Ama'aret, someone who's not knowledgeable in simple psukim, that even in the Beis HaMikdash, you'll be embarrassed about. As being knowledgeable will be a priority. But lacking Gashmiyas, lacking possessions, that's not something that you'll be embarrassed about once you come to the Beis HaMikdash. Hopefully, spending time in the Beis HaMikdash, spending time in Eretz Yisrael, spending time in holy places, doing holy things will allow us as well to make sure that our priorities are always straight and allow us to become the best Ovdei Hashem that we can be.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.